The invitation arrived wrapped in starlight and sealed with a crest older than human civilization. Captain Marcus Hale stared at it for a long moment before finally exhaling. "An alien wedding," he muttered. "That's new." 6 months earlier, Marcus had been knee-deep in mud and plasma fire on the jungle world of Threxia, leading a coalition strike team against a rogue warlord who had threatened half the sector. He had not expected that campaign to end with him receiving a personal summons from King Vila of the Ketheri Dominion, one of the oldest and most tradition-bound empires in the galaxy. The message was simple. "Your presence is requested as an honored guest at the binding ceremony of Princess Lyrian of Kether." No explanation. No details. Just an expectation. Against his better judgment, Marcus went. The Ketheri capital world, Aurelian, was unlike any planet Marcus had seen. Vast marble-like spires rose from seas of glowing mist. Floating bridges connected towers carved with ancient symbols. The sky shimmered with soft gold clouds, and the air itself carried a faint harmonic hum as if the planet were singing. Marcus felt painfully out of place in his formal coalition uniform as he entered the Grand Confluence Hall. Alien nobles turned to stare, their jewel-toned eyes and ornate headcrests tilting in curiosity. A human. At a royal Ketheri wedding. Whispers followed him like shadows. "That is the human warrior. The one from Threxia. Why is he here?" Marcus ignored them, posture straight, expression neutral. He had learned long ago that confidence was its own armor. The hall itself was breathtaking. A circular chamber open to the sky, with holographic constellations drifting above like living tapestries. At the center stood the ceremonial platform, where 2 figures would soon bind their lives in accordance with Ketheri law. One of those figures was Princess Lyrian. Marcus recognized her immediately. She stood tall and radiant, her iridescent skin reflecting soft blues and silvers beneath ceremonial robes. Her eyes, deep violet, sharp and intelligent, met his across the hall. And for just a heartbeat, she smiled. Marcus's chest tightened. They had met once before on Threxia, under far less elegant circumstances. She had been trapped behind enemy lines, wounded and separated from her honor guard. Marcus had found her during a night raid, mistaking her at first for a civilian. He'd carried her through gunfire, fought off attackers, and gotten her to safety without ever knowing her true identity. Only later had he learned he'd saved a princess. Only later had she learned he'd done it without hesitation. Now, standing among kings and nobles, Marcus wondered why that memory felt heavier than his armor ever had. The ceremony began with music that vibrated through bone and soul. King Vila took his place, tall, imposing, his presence commanding absolute silence. Beside him stood Queen Merith, regal and unreadable. The groom was announced first. A high-ranking Ketheri noble stepped forward, adorned in gold and crystal. Polite applause followed. Then Princess Lyrian moved to stand opposite him. Marcus watched closely. Something was wrong. Lyrian's posture was flawless, but her eyes were distant. Her hands were clenched just slightly enough for a trained soldier to notice. The officiator spoke the ancient vows, his voice echoing through the hall. "Princess Lyrian of House Vila, do you accept this bond in service to the Dominion?" Silence. A murmur rippled through the audience. Marcus felt a knot form in his gut. Slowly, Lyrian lifted her head. "I do not," she said. Gasps exploded through the hall. King Vila stiffened. Lyrian, he warned. She turned, not to her intended groom, not to the court, but to Marcus. Every eye followed her gaze. My father taught me that strength is truth, she said, her voice steady but fierce. And the truth is this marriage was forged for tradition, not for unity. She took a step forward. The one who showed me the meaning of honor does not stand on this platform, she continued. He stands among the guests. Marcus froze. Princess, the officiator began. I choose my bond, Lyrian said sharply. By right of ancient law. A stunned silence fell. King Vila's eyes narrowed, then shifted slowly, deliberately, to Marcus. Human, the king said, his voice like distant thunder. Step forward. Marcus did. Every instinct screamed caution, but he walked anyway, boots echoing across the marble floor. He stopped at the base of the platform and bowed respectfully. Your Majesty. You saved my daughter on Threxia, Vila said. Knowing only that she was wounded. Knowing only that she needed help. Yes, sire. And you expected nothing in return. Marcus hesitated. I expected her to live. The king studied him for a long, heavy moment. Then he turned to the court. Ketheri law states that a royal may claim a bond with one who has proven unmatched honor in defense of the royal line, Vila said. This law has not been invoked in 3,000 cycles. The nobles erupted into chaos. A human. This is heresy. He is not Ketheri. Vila raised his hand, silencing them. Princess Lyrian, he said. Do you claim this human as your chosen consort? Lyrian did not hesitate. I do. Marcus's heart pounded. The king turned back to him. Marcus Hail of Earth, Vila said. Do you understand what is being offered? Marcus looked at Lyrian. She met his gaze, fear and hope intertwined. I understand, he said slowly, that this would change my life. And bind you to this world. To my family. To my throne. Marcus exhaled. I never wanted power, he said. But I won't walk away from someone who stood beside me in fire. The hall went silent again. Then King Vila did something no one expected. He smiled. So be it, the king declared. By ancient right, I accept this bond. The groom stepped back, pale and furious, as the ceremony shifted, rituals rewriting themselves in real time. The officiator's voice trembled as he spoke the binding words anew. When Marcus stepped onto the platform beside Lyrian, she reached for his hand. Her touch was warm. Steady. You didn't have to do this, he whispered. I know, she replied. That's why I chose you. The binding light flared, ancient symbols circling them both. The bond sealed not just in law, but in energy, acknowledging Marcus as family to the Ketheri throne. When the light faded, King Vila descended the steps and placed a hand on Marcus's shoulder. Rise, he said. My son. The hall exploded not with protest, but with thunderous applause. Later, beneath the twin moons of Aurelian, Marcus stood on a balcony beside Lyrian, the distant celebration echoing behind them. I came here as a guest, Marcus said quietly. And you leave as royalty, she replied, smiling. He shook his head. I'm still just a soldier. Lyrian leaned into him. No. You are proof that honor transcends species. Marcus looked out at the stars, the weight of a new destiny settling on his shoulders. He had attended an alien wedding. and walked away as the king's son-in-law. Not by conquest, not by blood, but by choice.